So Summer Struggle, Night 2 in Sapporo. Let's talk about the first one. It was SHO and a young lion who I think it was Yota Suzuki. I butchered that immensely, but whatever.
Yeah.
No, it was Yuya. It was Yuya Uemura. That was that singles match later. Versus El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. This match should not have been as good as it should have been.
Oh, absolutely not.
This match was very good.
It was better than the Night 1 opener.
100% by a mile.
Yeah.
And Yuya did a very good job.
Oh, yeah.
So, honestly, I think maybe Master Wato is the weak link in that first match because Yuya is very good.
Yep.
There's definitely potential in this guy. Don't sleep on Yuya.
Right, but
like,
Yuya needs a gimmick, but that's about it.
Well, I mean, he's a young lion.
Right, but
young lions, black tights, black boots, very basic, no problem.
But what I'm saying is that he is good enough to move on to that next step, to start touring and then to do...
Right. Well, I think they've been waiting for obvious reasons.
But once touring comes back up, he's the first person I think to go back on tour.
100%.
I see him going to the show in United States when NJPW comes back.
Right, and actually it was a Yoshinobu Kanemaru getting it with Deep Impact to win, which is that second rope DDT crazy move. It was really cool.
And who did you do that against? Was it against the Young Lion?
Yes, it was.
That's
usually the young lion eats the pin.
Right.
Like for the most part.
Right.
So, it was a very good match. I really enjoyed this match.
All right,
we're going to sit here and try to make not only New Japan Majestic again, but make Pro Wrestling Majestic again, Peanut Gallery. So,
anyways, it's very moist outside right now.
Right? Now, okay. But before we really get into it, I do want to talk about Master Wato because
I think that's the first thing that we should talk about. So
here's the thing. The thing. Hold on. I have something to say, and it is important.
Okay.
I'm not going to blame him for anything.
Right.
He was put in a position that, number one, I just don't think he has quite the experience for, and he made the best out of it. I will say, the first match, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was technically sound. I thought some of his stuff was very crisp. Some of his character work needs development, but other than that, it was fine. And then his stuff with Shingo. Obviously, Shingo can carry that match, no problem. But he did his best.
Right.
And that's all I can say.
Okay. Ready? Okay, so I'm going to talk about... This is my first big theme with this show. And I think I'm starting to appreciate New Japan a little bit more now that I kind of understand these nuances. Now, okay, I sound like a total noob, but with the way that the Young Lions program is... I think it's perfect.
Yep.
So they go into tag team matches, they eat pins.
Right.
And then they develop characters, and then they go on tour, and then they come back to Japan and are all of a sudden just, mega stars who have, they've honed their craft for 10 years, right? So let's talk about the future. Now, we've seen two stars stand out, not Master Wato. But Master Wato is getting better. Master Wato is pretty much ready to go on excursion.
I think I know who you're talking about because this guy also went through it.
Yes.
And that is, where is it? There he is. Great O'Khan. Great O'Khan went through the Young Lion system.
But I'm talking about Young Lions who are currently going through the system that have been part of Summer Struggle.
Yuya.
Yep.
These two right here, Yuya and Yota, are definitely some shining stars.
So they're pretty much ready to go on excursion.
I think so. I think they have those fundamentals down.
These are the next two stars in NJPW, in my opinion.
Right. But obviously, with the pandemic, it definitely took some things back. And obviously, with Bushi Road, who owned New Japan, I just don't know if they were going to go on excursion soon. When was that going to happen?
Well, they are coming to. They're going to be coming to Los Angeles.
Yes, I think.
I think tickets are already sold out. We didn't get any.
What the fuck was that? Okay, I'm not going to go to Los Angeles. I'm not going to go on a fucking 6-hour trip. I'm too lazy for that shit.
Well, I think it's only for one show, too. Now, if it was for 2 or 3 shows, I might.
Right, like give me a show where, it's $125, but you get to go to 6 tapings. Okay, I can do that.
Right.
But not for one show. There's no way. Unless I have an enormous amount of money to dispose of.
Going to be there.
Right. Or somebody who's awesome and they're going to blow me. That's pretty much it. But
if Great O'Khan is going to be there, I will pay unlimited money.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Anyways.
Okay. I do want to talk about the Evil and Ishii rivalry.
Okay,
This rivalry is awesome. This is the thing that is saving this never open weight 6-man tag team champion.
Absolutely.
By a mile and a half.
Oh, absolutely.
Just these two's rivalry. It's so basic. So basic and so easy to comprehend, but it makes it so much better because after that, it's all wrestling talent. They're not overcomplicating this, which is something that, especially somebody like WWE, you overcomplicate it.
Right.
People are excited for this. And this is a 6-man tag team championship rivalry.
Right.
It's not that hard. It really isn't.
Right.
If New Japan can make it, you can too. If you pay $9.99. Anyway. So let's talk about actually, you know what? Let's talk about both of these because they both tie in together.
Well, yeah. So let's talk about Let's talk about Kenta.
Well, let's talk about two things. Let's talk about Kenta and Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Okay.
That rivalry is going to be freaking awesome.
Yep.
And I guarantee you, if this is not for the heavyweight champion, it's for the United States champion. Or even never openweight champion.
Or something along those lines. I mean, there almost has to be a title attached to it, but I don't know.
Not a title attached to this rivalry particularly. They have to go for the rivalry.
Right.
Well, I don't know.
Or a number one contendership or something like
that. But
that.
here's another thing as well that's coming up. G1 Climax is also coming up.
That's right. So we're starting to think about rivalries for that one too.
Right. We're thinking about rivalries. We're thinking about finals. And if these two, Kenta and Hiroshi Tanahashi, are the finals for the G1 Climax,
I'm climaxing.
Oh, yeah. Peanut Gallery just made a mess on my floor. I'm not going to clean it. So,
anyways, let's talk about the other part of that.
There.
rivalry.
Okay, yes. Let's just talk about
the tag team, the junior heavyweight tag team championship.
Because I think this really illustrates a much bigger point that I'm actually really going to illustrate, and I think I'm right here.
Well, also, they did mention this in New Japan for the second night. They did mention that there was a lack of star power because of the pandemic. So they were missing a lot of stars that could have been potential stars for that junior heavyweight tag team championship picture.
Right.
That now they feel confident that tag team championship picture is going to happen.
Exactly. But now we're seeing this junior heavyweight, especially with this, an easy developing rivalry here with the the junior heavyweight tag team champions, Rocky Romero and Ryusuke Taguchi. I'm not mad about this. How can you be mad about this?
Right.
They have shown their skills. They're very popular with the crowd, and this is going to be a great match.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They have a certain chemistry with Phantasmo and Ishimori that's just going to knock your socks off, where I would not be surprised if they put the belt on Taguchi and Rocky Romero.
Right.
They're so popular. They have beaten the tag team champions multiple times. And it would just make sense to at least have that title match either at Osaka's Summer Struggle or at Tokyo Dome's Summer Struggle. It's one of the two.
It's not Tokyo Dome's. It's
it's in Tokyo, but it's in I thought it was in Tokyo Dome. No, it was in Tokyo Dome, but they changed it because of the state of emergency.
Right. Also, it's not called the Summer Struggle.
Yes, it is.
It's called Wrestle Grand Slam, madam.
Wrestle Grand Slam and the Summer Struggle are two different entities.
Oh, never mind.
Summer Struggle, you're thinking about Summer Struggle, which is next month. I'm talking about, I'm sorry. Wrestle Grand Slam is next month, I believe.
That's the same.
Don't quote me on that.
No, that's not the same weekend as, anyways.
You know what? Filibuster as much as possible. I'm double checking here.
So, here's the thing.
How's that weather?
So, there's heat light.
Here.
Right
as you're talking, let's talk about like the junior heavyweight division as a whole. I want you to really exacerbate that as you filibuster.
Okay, great. So we got Rocky Romero coming back, which is great.
With his stuff with the juniors.
Bushi,
what about the singles heavyweight?
Bushi has really, really saved this division.
You mean El Desperado?
El Desperado. that guy.
Okay, so you are correct. So there is a Grand Slam in Tokyo. I thought there was a... Okay, I see what's going on. Never mind. So I'm an idiot.
Anyway, so I'm an idiot for forgetting what wrestler is the current junior heavyweight championship right now.
El Phantasmo is the current junior heavyweight champion. He has saved this division.
He did a great job with it too. I mean, with Ishii it's fine, but I cannot wait for Rocky Romero to come back. That's a wrestling.
Rocky Romero to come back. Rocky Romero is back. He's not going for it. I think you're thinking about Robbie Eagles.
Robbie Eagles. Oh my God.
You're all over the fucking place. No, Robbie Eagles is.
I wrestled out. I'm sorry.
Right. Phantasmo was a champion. He faced Kota Ibushi for the double gold at the last defense, which was an incredible match. He has defended that this was his first technical defense, and he did a great job at it. Awesome. But he's going to continue to do this because right now he is the best guy in this position.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, Ishimori and Phantasmo are great choices, but they have the junior heavyweight tag team champions. Right. And they really don't like to overlap champions, despite them carrying that. But I think that's part of the issue. They don't want a double title like that again because it got so much heat.
Right.
Even with Desperado having both, he quickly lost the junior heavyweight tag teams because they wanted him in this position because he's that good. So I'm okay with Desperado as junior heavyweight champion right now. And his stuff with Robbie Eagles, whenever that's happening, I don't know when he's coming back.
Wrestle Grand Slam.
Is it at Wrestle Grand Slam? Do we?
I hope so.
Okay, well, we don't have confirmation, so we're not going to jerk off on that yet.
We don't have confirmation, but I feel like that's what's going to happen.
I think so too. But this division where it has gone up and down, but this division is great. You have so many contenders. You have Ishimori, Phantasmo, SHO, Robbie Eagles, Hiromu Takahashi when he's back and healthy, Bushi, and then a lot of these young lions that we're seeing are actually juniors.
Right.
So we're seeing that. So we're actually seeing a really good, established, fundamental junior heavyweight division, which we have been really lacking. So I'm really excited about that.
All right, so we're moving on to up next here.
Let's talk about Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan. So this, if they're not going for the tag team champions, either Great O'Khan is going for the United States champion, and Jeff Cobb is going for the heavyweight champion.
Here's a theory that I had. Great O'Khan's character would work great overseas too, because
that's why he should win the United States champion.
Exactly. Right. And, of course, Jeff Cobb and Kazuchika Okada are bound to clash at this point in time.
That's a budding rivalry. That's gonna be a Wrestle Grand Slam.
Yeah.
And with Kota Ibushi, he's going to be healthy for Grand Slam. So Shingo is going to be already in contention there. And whoever wins that match is going to face either Okada or Jeff Cobb.
I mean, if Great O'Khan wants to go for the U.S. champion, that would be perfect.
It'd be perfect for him.
He would be great overseas.
Right. Give him another... I mean, he was already on Excursion, but give this character an Excursion.
Yeah.
Especially for his height and his weight and his presence.
And the character that he evokes, I mean, it's just awesome.
Now it's like, American fans won't get it. That's the point. You don't want them to get it.
No, American fans will get it.
It's a bright, colorful, crazy, mysterious character, and that's what people want.
No, Americans will get it because he was born within this era,
right?
Of American exposure to New Japan.
But the problem is, or the thing is, his character is based on a Japanese legend. Literally, the question mark over the face, that is a Japanese legendary character.
Right.
He is an amalgamation of a fucking demon. And just the presence about him, just the brightly colored, the question mark, they're not going to get it entirely, especially nuanced fans who are not aware of New Japan. But that's fine. Look at him.
But people who watch AEW are not newbies.
No.
I'm sorry.
But at the same time,
he would not work in WWE.
Or I'm talking about Japanese lore, not wrestling. Japanese lore. They're gonna know who Great O'Khan is, but it's like, what is this? What is the point of this? It's not just that. Look at the costume. Look at the character work. Look at the glove itself and his finisher. Right. It's all incorporation of that character.
I guess
he has the character.
I guess we'll have to ask Jim Cornette what he thinks of Great-O-Khan.
I feel like Jim Cornette would like Great-O-Khan.
Anyways, I'm being facetious because
I think
Jim Cornette is like the markiest mark that ever marked.
Right. I think fucking Jim Cornette would jerk off over Jeff Cobb more than anything. Strong, powerful, quick, a great snap. Honestly, if they book him right, Jeff Cobb is the next Kurt Angle.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's that good.
Oh yeah. But he is in this rivalry now with Kazuchika.
But here's the issue. Jeff Cobb is older than you think.
Right.
They really have to pull the trigger on Jeff Cobb now.
Right.
And if it's tag team or heavyweight or whatever they're doing, they gotta do it now.
Oh, they'll probably do it within the next year. I guarantee you that.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of former heavyweight champion. Oh, yeah. So let's talk about Naito and SANADA. So Naito is obviously the leader of LIJ.
Yes.
But he is not the current world champion. The current world champion is also a member of LIJ, but he is not the leader of LIJ.
But here's the great thing about LIJ.
But see, what I'm saying is that Jeff Cobb could fill that same role. Jeff Cobb does not need to be the leader of the United Empire, but he can be the world champion of the United Empire.
And you can say the same thing about Great-O-Khan.
Right.
He doesn't have to be the leader, but he is the mouthpiece because he's the only one who can speak fluent Japanese in that entire group.
Right. I mean, but
to what I'm aware.
Right. So who is the mouthpiece of Los Ingobernables?
I think Tetsuya Naito is.
Right. Oh yeah, he absolutely is. Right.
Shingo does not talk. SANADA does not talk. Or I would actually even say Hiromu, to a point, is a mouthpiece for LIJ.
Oh, what about Bullet Club? Evil, I think, is more of the leader, even though he's not the leader.
But Jay White is the mouthpiece of the group. But in Wikipedia terms, they are both leaders.
Right.
With given the circumstances of last year, Evil became the leader of Bullet Club.
Right. Because of the circumstances surrounding
what was going on, right. And they already gave him the title. He was already in the main event scene. He can go for that title anytime he wants.
So anyways, my point is that you don't necessarily have to be the mouthpiece in order to be the world champion. You don't have to be the leader in order to be the world champion. Jeff Cobb would be the perfect world champion because he has that power factor.
Right.
He doesn't have to be the mouthpiece. He doesn't have to be the leader.
He has a snap. He has the presence. Right. He has the character work. He has everything down pat. He's ready to go.
Right. It's kind of like, think about like someone like MVP and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley is not the mouthpiece of the group, right. But he is the world champion.
And the great thing about Jeff Cobb and Great-O-Khan coming together is you have the character work, the supreme character work, and the presence of Great-O-Khan, but you have the absolute pure power and the pure talent of Jeff Cobb. They almost make together a perfect wrestler, and you know them working together as much as they have, they're just going to get better where their weaknesses are. But let's continue to talk about this, because this is where we are. Let's talk about Naito and SANADA.
Let's talk about this, because what do you think about Jeff Cobb and Great-O-Khan going for the heavyweight tag team champions?
I would love it. And they have to do that at Grand Slam if they're going to do something new. I think Dangerous Tekkers are good. I don't want them to go for the tag team titles again. And if they do, I'm going to be angry. And the same.
What about the rematch?
If they're going to do a rematch, they have different summer struggles to do that. They have Nagoya and they have Osaka to do. They have those.
So here's my question is.
I mean, they had a great match, but we need something different.
So say that Jeff Cobb goes against Kazuchika Okada, and he's not available for the tag team championship match at Summer Struggle.
Then you do Dangerous Tekkers, and
but who else besides Dangerous Tekkers and UE would be a good contender for?
I really don't want to put the Gorillas of Destiny in that position again, but the Gorillas of Destiny.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking too.
I don't want them.
You don't want them.
I want fresh new tag teams.
But but you have to think about like who is third, fourth, fifth, sixth in line.
But at the same time, Jeff Cobb and Kazuchika Okada is a marquee selling match because Shingo's not going to be competing in a big match situation until Grand Slam.
Right.
So put Okada and Cobb at like Nagoya or Osaka, and then have the tag team match at Grand Slam, because they are the most obvious tag team right now for the heavyweights. Have the rematch for the tag team champions, because that can sell tickets at Nagoya and Osaka.
Right.
But then have LIJ versus Cobb and Khan. That sells tickets. That's money right there.
I may disagree with you on that to a point, because I think that Cobb Okada would sell way more tickets than anything right now.
But would you put that at Grand Slam, even though you already have a marquee match with Shingo and Ibushi?
And see, that I don't know. It depends on whether or not Ibushi is healthy.
Ibushi's going to be fine. There's still 2 weeks before that. He'll be fine.
True. So, what do you as fans think? Obviously, we're not in agreement with it.
Right. What do you think would be a better orientation of these? Because you know these are going to happen, and you know that this is going to happen with clearly the rivalries and clearly the team.
Right.
That's the most obvious choice. For me, I think Cobb should get out of his rivalry with Okada before going for the tag belts. And then obviously that will give enough time for the Dangerous Tekkers to give one more shot. Then you clear up that, you go into...
Or you can go with my more superior plan. Anyways, let us know what you think. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because they're both good. They're both great options.
Right. At the end of the day, they have... Summer Struggle was awesome.
Right.
In every single point, they have done great.
Anyways.
To where you and I are disagreeing of the orientation of great matches, that's how wrestling is booked.
Right.
That's how you do this, where you have these tag team matches where you build certain things, and you have great rivalries in every aspect of every single match. I mean, I can literally go through the list here. Boom, great rivalries. Boom, great rivalries. You have all of them. All of them are there. And they've built that groundwork for not only the future shows for Summer Struggle, but for Grand Slam.
Right.
But I want to hear from you. What would be like your dream scenario for all of these competitors for Wrestle Grand Slam? Because that's the next big event for you.
I have a great idea for our next non-pay-per-view show, which would be amazing. So when we come back, we are going to cover Ring of Honor's Best in the World.
Oh, yeah.